Welcome back to our channel, guys. So I'm Cindy, Mrs. B.
I'm Mado, Mr. B.
And we are Mr. and Mrs. B of Moss Design House. Christmas is always about the spirit of giving. And, despite that there is pandemic and there's so many things that happened in 2020, we're still feeling very blessed. And we'd like to be able to share that to others by giving back. We're doing a home fluffing for a institution for graceful aging. So it's basically a home for the elderly. It's called Residencia de Ancianos. This is founded and headed by Dr. Ong. Good morning, Dr. Ong. So I'm Cindy.
Hi, Dr. Ong. I'm Mado.
So we're Mr. and Mrs. B po from Moss Design House. Doctora, thank you again for allowing us to home fluff Residencia de Ancianos.
Actually, we're thankful for the opportunity that you gave Residencia. I'm actually more than grateful that you visited Residencia de Ancianos because the elderly in that facility, wala silang visitor. They don't have any visitors from the time na nag-lockdown, from March until today.
Can you tell us more about the name Residencia de Ancianos?
It's a Spanish name kasi kung gagawin natin home for the elderly, ayaw naman nila. Walang papasok doon pag sinabing, saan ka nakatira? Home for the elderly.
Oh,
So they don't like.
okay.
Lalo na pag assisted living, yung talagang kaya pa nila. We thought of something na, a phrase na hindi ibig sabihin ay mga matatanda.
So, Doctora, can you tell us more po about the Residencia?
Well, Residencia de Ancianos, it's actually home for the elderly. It started 2013.
Oh, okay.
So, actually ang gusto lang namin is assisted living lang. It's not a nursing home.
Okay.
But yung pumupunta lang sa amin are all nursing home, like yung bedridden patients.
And the nurses also are stay-in.
Yes, for now they're staying, but before, years ago, it was really a 12-hour shift.
Since 2013,
30.
it has already been like that. You've never renovated it, or was it nag-hire ka ba ng interior designer to do that, or
Regarding the living area, and even the whole facility, we are just focusing on taking care of the elderly.
Okay.
So, more of the nursing home, nursing care, medical care. So that's why you can see all the furnitures would be just like a wheelchair, hospital bed, all those stuff that we see in the hospital.
Last question, Doctora, how do they
Okay.
usually spend Christmas?
Oh, yun ang nakakalungkot.
Kasi being away, on the context of being away with the family. I mean, in the previous years, kahit hindi on this pandemic context, how do they spend Christmas?
8 p.m. nagsasalo-salo na sila. And then they just eat. And then after that, konting kantahan lang, and then they go back to sleep. Yun lang.
How do they usually decorate the space in Christmas?
Well, in the past years kasi, ginawa lang namin is just the simple Christmas tree. I think nakita nyo naman doon. Sometimes yung balls, iba-iba na yung color. Why? Through the years kasi,
Nag-a-add.
kung may dagdag na rice, nag-a-add lang kami ng nag-a-add. Well, maybe because wala naman nakakapansin ng Christmas tree namin. May makikita ka doon parang Santa na matatanda, dalawang Santang lola at lolo. So, yun lang yung aming parang way na masabi na it's Christmas for the elderly. Kasi nga may lolo at lola dun sa tabi.
Right.
Yun lang. And a Christmas light. Yung Christmas light sa labas. Yun lang ang Christmas decor namin actually.
We're very happy to do this for them and for you.
Actually, honored eh.
And we're actually honored. Actually, my husband said the
Kami
perfect
ang-
word. We are honored to do it.
Kami ang mas honored na nandyan kayo.
Maraming salamat po, Doktora. Thank you again very much. So after the client briefing, we went to our drawing boards and decided to give them a traditional Christmas look. So that means the color palette is green, red
Gold.
and gold
Yeah.
colors. We were thinking of having a fireplace because, it just gives this automatic warmth in a
feeling.
space, right? And then curtains, because we noticed when we did the ocular on site that the curtains are really bitten, diba?
Then, yeah.
So the plan is, we had to make the curtains floor to ceiling, and we did again the valance. I mean, like what we usually do in our previous home fluffing, para lang it elongates the space and it feels more polished. Hi everyone! So it's day one here at Residencia.
Christmas time!
We're going to redecorate their living area, which is our common space, their space of gathering, into something that feels very Christmas.
Christmas lounge.
It's like a Christmas lounge. So what we're doing is that we're bringing in the furniture, we're bringing in some of the decors.
Settings.
We're given only 3 hours. Obviously, we have to work around the time and the limits that they're giving us. I mean, usually this is something that we can do in just one day talaga. I mean, di ba? Tapos to talaga in one day. But again, we have to consider them.
It's a real functioning.
It's a functioning and well-utilized space by them. So, yep, we'll be able to finish this for them. Right now, my team just arrived. This is Candice, Chess, and Rocky, who's all gonna work hard to make this happen, along with our staff who's here as well. So, we're gonna go in. We'll do a very quick internal briefing. There might be a few tweaks and changes based on what I saw earlier of the space, but they're already equipped, so we already have the decors that's going to be installed. So we're gonna work on it already, and we'll see you in a bit.
So it's day 2 and wala ka.
Yes, sorry I was out because I had an engagement, but andun ka naman. And the girls were there. I mean, our girls can very much be trusted.
Ano ako parati? Lalo na pag...
I was monitoring it naman. But parang pinapalabas mo wala akong ginawa ng day 2.
It's my day. Right now, we're doing the valance for the curtain and tada! The new plaque. Papalitan natin kasi yung before, naka-tarp lang siya. So, lalagyan natin ng poster bolt. At least medyo mas maganda-ganda na yung plaque nila. Mga matatanda natutulog. So, na-install na namin yung foam wall, pero we are not happy with the finish yet. So, mag-repaint kami ulit. Pero it's latex para walang amoy. And we're installing this fireplace and putting a TV, pati meron siyang effect na fire para at least paano ma-enjoy ng mga patient dito sa residensya. And we'll put some decors pa. And trees na. Valance board will be installed there and the new curtain.
We're very fortunate enough to be assisted by Unilever on the care packages through the help of Miss Apples Aberin.
And her team.
And her team,
Yeah.
of course. She gave us personal care goods, shampoo. There was cream silk, there was sun silk, there was Rexona. A lot of personal care packages. And apart from that, she also gave brand aid packages, yung Noche Buena para sa lahat. This is actually an initiative. 4 of the major corporations, that's Unilever, RFM Corporations, Century Foods, and Dole, to help the Filipinos who have been stricken by the typhoon and those who have actually lost their jobs due to the pandemic.
So it's day 3.
So, medyo, pump up na tayo ngayon para matapos natin yung Christmas fluffing.
Yep. So for day 3, actually when we arrived, it was almost set na eh. So we changed the color paint. You know, although we didn't promise this, we felt like it was really time for a refresh, even for their outsides. So basically, what we're doing inside is just doing the details and just the ribbons, pinapaayos ko lang kasi iba really gusot sila. But overall, really, we're done. We're just waiting for the reveal time, which is in 2 hours, I think. And yep, we're so excited to see the reaction of our elderly and the staff inside as well. We also saw the signage. The original signage kasi that they had was really parang, ayun, was a tarp lang.
Nakasabit lang na ganun. So, buti lang yung friends natin na si Sinex, nag-donate sila ng signage for the Residencia.
So, syempre, di ba, nakasingit pa ako ng design tip. So, here's a design tip whenever you do Christmas tree trimming at home. Okay, so when you do your Christmas tree decorations, you always need to start off with a good base, and that's your Christmas tree. So try to choose a Christmas tree that's more dense versus something that's really very skeletal. So your goal is for the spine not to be seen. The spine is the one in the middle. And then when you spread out your Christmas tree, try to always curl the leaves just so it looks more full. When we install the lights, we usually start from the top down to the bottom. But the trick there is that you need to go in and out. So in our vernacular term, iniisaw namin yung Christmas lights going into the branches out, in and out. So then you still have Christmas lights from the inside of the tree or from the spine of the tree. So try to avoid having Christmas lights that are like spiral and swirling like that. So that usually doesn't look very nice. Now that you have the Christmas light, it's time to choose the decors. The decors really vary on the theme that you like or on the color palette, but try to work as close as possible to a good color palette base. So now that you're already done with the Christmas lights, it's actually determining the colors and the theme already. So, there's a lot of other themes other than traditional. So you can go with, say, winter, there's candy, Candyland or Nutcracker. I mean, it's limitless. But whatever theme you're choosing, make sure that your color story is still cohesive. Try to pick maximum, say, of maybe 3 or 4 colors to revolve around your Christmas tree. Para lang man it looks very polished and it doesn't look very magulo. In terms of choosing decors, my rule of thumb is actually a maximum of 6 types of decors. For instance, balls, it needs to be of different scale. You can go the smallest at 75 mm or 3 inches, and then 100 mm at 4 inches, and go as big as, say, 200 mm if your tree is big. Important is scale. Make sure that your decors are in proportion and in scale of your Christmas tree. When we're decorating the tree already, make sure just the Christmas lights, you go in out. So inside the Christmas tree, make sure that you also have decors, and then you go outward. There you have it.
You and I till the end, don't need to pretend. Again and again, we'll stick together. Everything is alright with you by my side. We won't say goodbye, we'll stick together.
We're so happy that it's now looking like a home versus nung una nating pagdating doon, that it felt like a facility. Diba? Parang it was just so empty. It felt like a hallway with one chair. We brought in colors. There's green, there's red, there's gold. It feels very festive now. From the outside, the first thing that we did, actually hindi to first thing it was an afterthought already, but I'm so happy that we did it. We repainted the facade because nga it felt like it needed to be refreshed. At saka nandun na din tayo, di ba? So might as well do it. I was so happy with how we changed the signage. Hey, this really looks like a legit facility.
Ang nakita ko is yung fireplace.
Yes, I agree. And I feel like it was so clever the way that was positioned because right when you enter, it's what greets you, which is a fireplace with that TV na sobrang cool. Tapos may sound effects pa.
Oo, yung burning and all.
Ang galing that there was sound effect. It's not just what you see, it's also what you hear. I'm also very happy that, it was totally transformed. Even if it's not as extensive as how we do it na may wallpaper and we change the ceiling, we have drop lights and all that. I feel like it's meaningful nevertheless. It's as meaningful as the ones that we've done for others. So kami po si Mr. and Mrs. B.
Hello, hi.
Hello po. So, thank you for welcoming us po into your home. Kami at saka yung mga family ko from Moss Design House are here because we want to share the spirit of Christmas po with you through the way that we know how, and that is in decorating po your space. The way you see their faces, the way they try to communicate with you how much they appreciate what you've done. I think yung parang through their eyes, you can already see their appreciation and their gratitude for being there. So, ang ginawa po namin, comfortable na po yung couch na meron kayo ngayon. So, pwede na po kayo dito magtambay-tambay. And also, of course, to the
Staff.
nurses and the staff, thank you very much. Alam ko, minsan hindi kayo nakaka-uwi. So, maraming salamat po
For
talaga.
taking good care also
For
of the
taking
patient.
good care of all the mommies.
Yeah.
And to Dr. Ong as well for
Yes.
allowing us to be able to do this and give back to our mommies who are here, mommies and daddies who are here. More than their reaction to the space, even if verbally they can't express, wow, it's such a beautiful space. It was not important for us. It wasn't important for us for them to. It wasn't important for me, for the team. Hindi namin hinihingi na sabihin nila sa amin na ang ganda nito, salamat, 'di ba? Mas importante talaga for us that we were there and we can see their faces even without talking. We knew in our hearts that they were so appreciative of what we've done. Our friends po from Unilever, magbibigay rin po sila ng konting regalo sa inyo.
Yeah.
So, nagbigay po sila ng gift pack, parang Noche Buena gift pack na pwede nyong pagsalu-saluhan po. Ang tawag po doon, Brand Aid. Tapos meron din po silang care package na mga essentials, shampoo, ganyan. So, we're gonna give it po sa inyo.
Sa floor nila, sa floor.
For you, Mommy Marco.
Okay, thank you very much.
So, may surprise kami kasi ang balita ho namin merong may birthday.
Sino may birthday po dito?
Sino may birthday dito?
Sino po?
Birthday na si Mami Marco.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
There were so many talagang touching moments when we did the reveal. I mean, there was not one person who said, "Uy, ang ganda ng sofa, uy, ang ganda ng ceiling, uy, salamat dun sa curtain." But those things are really irrelevant. I mean, when you think about it, it's not the material things, or it's not that we gave them the space. It's just really the fact that for that day, they felt loved and they felt that they mattered.
For each one of you?
Yeah, for that.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Tay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you po. So, mga Nay, Tay, thank you sa card.
Actually, we share this with the rest of the team. So,
Even sa anak po namin. I-share po namin. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
this is already far detached from what we do. A lot of it are values. A lot of it are subtle reminders of what life is and of what you can give. It's really giving more than what you take. It's the value that time is really so important. At one point, I broke down really in that episode and I stepped out for a while. There was just so much emotions, but it wasn't really because I was sad that I was there, but it was a nudge for me to spend as much time as you can with your parents, because really, it's all about appreciating that they're still there.
Value time. Yun ang sinasabi ko sa mga bata.
After that, we invited them to go out and,
To have a small salo-salo. And for those who actually was able to go outside. And we were very thankful that Tent City sponsored and replaced their makeshift tent. They had this makeshift tent na parang for sure it wasn't gonna withstand another storm. So we were so happy that they sponsored that. And then we've set up tables, there was food, and there was a little bit of dancing. The entire team at Moss is just, I think privileged, diba? Everyone was just honored and privileged to be there. Making this an initiative yearly by the company and seeing my designers there and the team being so engaged, it was really just so heartwarming. And individually, I felt very proud because I didn't have to ask them. Really, everything was voluntary. The way they had engaged to the lolas and the lolas, the way they just overall did it with so much love, is just a proud moment for me and my husband as the head of the company. In the end, it was really such a happy moment, and everyone was dancing, ang saya na ng environment, and parang no one wanted to leave. Parang we were so engaged, except that they had limited time kasi outside. Yup, we're so happy to give happiness to others in the same way as they gave happiness to us.
Merry Christmas!
Thank you again for watching another episode of Mr. and Mrs. B of Moss Design House. If you want to know more about Residencia de Ancianos, just look at our caption and description below. Merry Christmas, everyone! We hope that you spend a lot of time with your family. Treasure each moment with them. Don't forget to subscribe
Hindi na pala yan.
and hit on the button below. Like us, send us your comments in, and
And we love reading your comments, guys.
bye, everyone!
Merry Christmas!